Yeah, I got the remedy for your soul. Got the melody for the low. I got everything, let me know. I like your energy.
So today I will be doing a declutter video and showing you my collection. I need to get rid of some of this stuff and I also need to know what I actually have in here. So yeah, nothing will be thrown out unless it's absolutely old. Any makeup that I decide to declutter will either be given to someone or possibly sold if I haven't used it. But yeah, let's get straight into the video. So we're going to start with our bottom drawer. And this is the Fairy Tale palette by Storybook Cosmetics. Ooh. I got this in a boxy charm. Wow. And I have not used it yet. However, I absolutely love this palette's color story, so I'm going to keep it. This is a Carity Travel Chamber. It's honestly just a magnetic palette. This is a shade from Ofra, and I'm not sure what kind of shadows these are. One of my friends from work gave them to me, so I'll be keeping that. Next up is my Butter London palette. I believe this is way too bright, so let's try that. My Butter London palette, I got this in a boxy charm. Honestly, I can dupe every single last one of these colors except maybe this one. So I'm gonna declutter it. This is the Infernal palette by Bad Habits. I got this palette on where did I get this? On Poshmark from the YouTuber Andrea Renee, one of those two. Honestly, I have yet to use it. It's supposed to be a dupe for one of the Anastasia Beverly Hills palettes. I'm probably going to get rid of this and get the Anastasia Beverly Hills palette, but until then, I'm going to keep this palette. This is my Mellow Cosmetics Zenopia palette. I think this palette is really pretty, but I've literally only used it once, and it was for a video that I was supposed to, sorry, the glare, that I was supposed to be uploading onto YouTube that I never did. I'll get there one day, but for now, I'm going to keep this. This is another palette that I got from my boxy charm. This is a Pretty Vulgar Nightingale palette. I think that's right. Yeah, the Nightingale palette. This is what it looks like. This is super cool toned. I used this last year once to do my New Year's Eve look that I recreated this year, and it's cool toned, so I'm gonna get rid of it. And I have duped this palette, which you'll see in a few minutes. It's right there in that drawer, so decluttering. Crown Pro palette. Don't get me wrong, the colors are nice. Could dupe this over and over again, but I don't need it. Declutter. My Beauty Creation Seduce Me. This came with my master makeup kit when I took my makeup certification class with Josue. I'm honestly gonna keep this because I personally love this. Now these are two dupe palettes that I was going to do a side-by-side comparison of with the actual palettes. I got these off of Amazon, and this one is a dupe of the Morphe X James Charles palette. And this one is a dupe of the Morphe 39A palette. And I'm actually gonna get rid of these. I was gonna keep them for that video, But realistically, they're just taking up space right now. Or maybe I'll keep them until I make the video and then get rid of them. We're still going to count these two as declutters. Ooh, they almost fell. Down here. Alright, so we have a 252 Ultimate Palette from Coastal Scents. I've had this for years, and somebody said that they wanted this palette. I probably had this for a year or two. It actually is really good still. However, I don't use it. And these type of palettes don't tickle my fancies, so I am going to be decluttering this. This is a Blush Neutrals 26 color eyeshadow and blush palette from BH Cosmetics. And I am absolutely getting rid of this. I swatched this one and one that I already gave to a friend, and they were not pigmented at all, so it's a clutter. This is the third edition 120 color eyeshadow palette from BH Cosmetics. Yes, I shadowed the mirror. Don't know how, don't know when. These are the two things of eyeshadow. I am going to get rid of this because at this point I have better eyeshadow. This is still really good quality, but I'm going to get rid of this palette. Oh. Wow. Deirdre, really. So this is the palette that I said that I duped the Pretty Vulgar palette with. This is the Cargo Cosmetics Nude Beach Eyeshadow Palette. This is a cool tone palette. I don't have many cool tone palettes, so I will be keeping this palette. Oh, I keep almost dropping stuff. This is the Trendy Boss Babe palette from, well, no, this is the Boss Babe palette from Trendy Beauty Cosmetics, and I got this with, wow, focus, no, okay. I got this in my master kit from when I got my certification. I'm honestly going to keep this simply because I really want to play with it. I just don't know what I want to do. I'm not really a nude girl. I like color for so many reasons, but I can make a bomb neutral look with this, so I'm going to keep it. This is another Beauty Creations palette that I got with my certification, and this is the Splash of Hues Volume 1. This is what this looks like. It's super colorful. I honestly feel like I should get rid of this because I have so many colorful palettes, but I really do want to test the formula and see how this palette performs, so I'm gonna keep it. This is another Beauty Creations that I got with my certification. This is the Annette 69 palette, and these are the colors. We have 3 shimmers and a whole bunch of matte shades with 4 glitter, pressed glitters. I like this palette. We used this during our class, and I really did like this palette, so I am going to keep this palette. And then the Me, Myself, and Mama Mitchell palette. Okay, I kind of see the glare. I'm sorry. It's beautiful. But I haven't even touched this palette really yet. The only color I've touched is this one, and it wasn't the shade I was looking for, so I ended up not using it. But this is the whole palette. I'm definitely keeping this palette. As you see, the mirror moves. Love it. I'm keeping it. Let me reload this drawer and we'll go on to the next one. Alrighty, this is a drawer with Morphe. This is my Morphe 25L, right? Yeah, my 25L Artistry palette. I wanted this palette when it first dropped, and then they discontinued it. And then it came back. So your girl got the palette and it's not going anywhere. So sorry. I'm in love. Keeping. Hold please. For some reason my camera's dying even though it was literally just charged. And we're back. So we're gonna continue. I have the 24G Grand Glam palette. This is supposed to be a palette that you can use as bronzers, contours, blush, and eyeshadow. I will be keeping this palette. I also have 2 of these palettes. So one is broken. One came broken, so they sent me another one. I fixed it and broke it again. So what I think I'm going to do is fix it and give it to an aspiring makeup artist. Or somebody that just wants to learn a lot about makeup. You know, build somebody else's kit. It'll be better for me. I think that's an amazing way to help share what I already am able to provide myself with others. So I'm keeping one and giving one away. This is the 39S, such a gem palette. This is the palette with all the purples. I've literally swatched this palette and that is it. Most of my Morphe palettes I have only swatched because I was really into makeup and I still really am into makeup, but it's been getting really hard. I don't know why my voice sounds like that, sorry. It's been getting really hard for me to be confident playing in makeup. I don't know, don't ask, but yeah, I'm keeping it. Next up is my James Charles, which I am keeping because literally YouTube made me buy it and I still want it, so I'm going to keep it. This one has also only been swatched. I used the dupe palettes to create a look, and the look that I used to the look I created with that palette the look I created with that palette will be the one that I create with this palette, so stay tuned for that. Next up is my 39A palette, I believe. Am I right? Yes, my Dare to be an artist or artistry palette, right? Artistry palette. But most of the big palettes are artistry palettes, but Dare to be an artist or something like that. I'm keeping this. I believe I've only swatched it, or I've only dipped into this black. Yeah, I'm keeping it. I'm not even gonna try to explain why I'm keeping it. I wanted it. I kept it. That's about that. And the 39 Hit the Lights palette. So hold on. Honestly, I bought this palette to do a giveaway, and I was like, I don't want the palette. I'll get it and do a giveaway. And then I got the palette and opened it and was like, ooh, pretty. This is the palette that I used for my New Year's Eve inspired look. I have so many looks with planned for this palette, so stay tuned. I am definitely keeping this palette. Next I have my Ace Beauté palettes. I probably should do the other part of Morphe, but this is in that bin, so we're gonna do this. Grandiose palette. Love this shade here. Tried that shade. I like the palette, but I have to figure out how I'm going to use it. I'm keeping it. My Ace Beauté palette. All 4 of these palettes are brand new. This is the Classical Paradise palette. There was some hair in that. I'm absolutely in love with this palette, and I am keeping it. No explanation needed. Why did I just scratch it? I'm keeping it because I love the color story. I'm not even gonna, color story. I should take this one out since I said I'm keeping it, but until I use it. Yes. This is the Blossom Passion. This is a pink palette, honestly. It got some dark shades that aren't pinks, but you get the point. I'm a fan of pink. I'm keeping this. 110% keeping it. Next up is my Slice of Paradise palette. I believe this is the colorful palette. Yep, I'm a colorful girl, and I honestly think that this palette, along with the Splash of Hues palette, is the same formula, and I want to find out, so I'm keeping it. At first, this is the only palette that I thought I would keep, And then this one and the green one. I thought I'd give away the pink one and this one. But it's looking like I'm keeping all of them. This is the Ace Beauty Paradise Has Fallen palette. This is a purple palette, and I am not a fan of it. I feel like I want to keep it to use it, but realistically, it doesn't scream to me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in a giveaway, or in my giveaway box, because I have a giveaway coming up. Well, not coming up, but in mine, and I have a whole lot of products for the giveaway. So let me put these back so we can continue. This is my next drawer of, let's move this first before I make a mess of eyeshadow palettes and be upset. Try that again. This is more of my, wow, you can't even see it. This is more of my Morphe. It has some other things in there as well, but let's get straight into it. I had the entire Jacqueline Hill Vault collection. Everybody says they were trash. I've only tried one. I'm not really sure which one it was. When I open it, I'll let you know. But yeah, I have the Armed and Gorgeous Jacqueline Hill. The Ring the Alarm. This is the one I used. The Bling Boss. And the Dark... Okay, focus. No? No? Okay. And the Dark Magic. I will be keeping all of those until I test every single last one. And then I may declutter it. I may not. It depends on how I like it. This is my 15D Day Slayer palette. I got this in a Boxy Charm. I love this palette. Try not to blind y'all with the light. But yeah, I love this palette. Keeping it. This is the 35M. This is another palette that I have doubles of. I got this for Christmas of 2018 from a friend, and the one she gave me was broken, and instead of letting her send it back, I kept it and I kind of fixed the shadows or whatever. And then at one point I just was like, forget it, and I'll get another one, and this is it. So I'm keeping it. Hold on, let me show you guys. I'm just dropping stuff. Let me show you guys the other palette. Oh, it's broken again. Even though I fixed it, I have to fix it again. This is the broken one, and just like the other palette, I'll be giving that one away. I'm gonna clean it up, of course, and give it to a makeup artist that may want it. This is the 35H palette. Brand new spanking new palette to me. It's only been swatched because I was looking for shades to recreate old looks that I've had done, and it's staying. 3503. Absolutely love this palette. Not going anywhere. If I could get it out, it's not going anywhere. It's brand spanking new. I haven't used any of them. I don't think I've even touched any of them. Oh yes, I have. I've touched the neon. Oh, I just stuck my nail on that. The neon colors. I'm keeping it. My Jacqueline Hill X Morphe palette. Not the OG, but you know, the one everybody thinks is the OG. Never even touched it. Absolutely love it. I lied. I touched that color. And those two. But it's staying regardless. Cool. Next up are my Carity Matte palette. I love this palette. It's not going anywhere. I have a full face of Carity, or testing Carity, I think it was. It wasn't a full face. Testing Carity video that I have planned. This is my box of crayons eyeshadow palette from the crayon case. And I've only used these two colors for a look that I was trying. I'm not going to use this palette for that look, but I love this palette. I've wanted this palette since it came out. And I got my hands on it. It came out before I was actually working. It came out when I was a kid. So, yeah. Well, I wasn't a kid. I was a teen. Not the point, though. This is the Matte Book palette from the crayon case. I'm keeping it. I have looks planned with this. Even if I didn't, I still would be keeping it. I'm not doing bad with decluttering. Okay, let's just tilt you a little more so you can see. I'm not doing bad with the decluttering, but I'm also not doing good. Alrighty, these are my, I believe this is my affordable drawer or my drugstore drawer. I'm gonna say it's drugstore. Yep, this is my drugstore drawer. Sorry, I have something in my eye. I don't know what I'm getting rid of and what I'm keeping, but I do think that I'm getting rid of a lot of this. Wet n Wild Rosé in the Air, keeping. Wet n Wild Comfort Zone, keeping. Wet n Wild Not a Basic Peach, I am keeping. I haven't even used them yet. So, these are my first few eyeshadow palettes. And I'm not going to say that it's my first actual eyeshadow palette, because I'm sure I've had eyeshadow palettes before this, but this is the eyeshadow palettes that I bought for myself when I was just getting serious with makeup when I first moved to Jersey, which was 2 years, which is now 3 years because of January. 3 years ago. I have already told somebody that they can have these. I don't know if she actually is still gonna get them. I don't know. Who knows? We'll see. But these are them. This is the Sweet collection from LA Colors. This is 1. This is 2. I didn't use all of this shade. It kind of just broke. This is 3. I didn't use these 2 shades either. It broke. This is, oops, sorry. This is 4. I did use these palettes for my first ever makeup video. I will probably be recreating that video very soon. Stay tuned for that. But yeah, I'm gonna declutter those. These are my mini Profusion palettes. This is my Profusion Cosmetic Spectrum palette. Boom. And if I could get it open. Boom. Have a look with this coming very soon. I love this palette and the look that I made with it. It's coming. Trust me. I'm keeping those 2. I'm going to move on to my e.l.f. just to get this out of the way. So this is the e.l.f. Opposites Attract. Boop. This is the 18 Hit Wonder. Boop. This is the New Classics. Boop. I honestly have only used, I don't think I've used any of these palettes. I think I've only swatched them. So I'm going to say goodbye to them, honestly. Maybe I'll keep 1, possibly, but I doubt it, just so that I can do my full face of e.l.f. But it's not necessary. So I'm going to say that those are declutters. Now I have more Profusion Cosmetics. This is the Sultry palette. Boop. And then this is the Mattes palette. If I could get it open. I'm actually surprisingly gonna declutter these. I've only used this palette and I've only swatched this palette, but it's no need for me to keep things that I'm not gonna use, because at this point I have so much makeup that there's no way that I can possibly use all of it. So let's go. This is the Sienna's palette. I hear everybody raving about this, and I think I've only swatched that color, so I'm going to keep it just for the sake of having some profusion. This is the Chocolates palette. I think I've only used these 2 colors, or I've swatched this one and used this one. I think I want to keep it, honestly, but I'm gonna declutter it because somebody else could get more use out of it. This is the Infatuation palette. I'm keeping it. Do we see the pink at the bottom? I have a look with that coming. And this is the Mirage palette. This is a brand new palette to my collection. Sorry if you can see the glare, the plastic is still on it. I've never even used it, as you can see. I'm keeping it. Let me reload this drawer. So this drawer is full of my ColourPop and my Makeup Revolution London. So we're gonna start here. This is my She's a Rainbow palette. I absolutely love this palette. I have a look coming with this palette. I haven't really used it, but I've swatched it. I'm keeping my So Jaded palette, Kathleen Lights X ColourPop. I love the way the palette looks, but honestly, thinking about it and looking at it, I'm not as inspired because a lot of the colors are a lot cooler than I'm used to. But I know for a fact I can make it work, so I'm keeping this palette. I mean, even if I couldn't make it work, I was keeping this palette. I love it. Sorry. Oh. Sweet Talk palette. Keeping. I'm in love. That's gonna go in the garbage now. Sorry. I have a tutorial with this palette. Not sure if it's up yet. I believe I did post it, but I think I took it down and it will be reposted after I fix some things, okay? Keeping. Yes, Please. It's supposed to be a dupe for the Natasha Denona, I believe, Sunrise palette. I'm keeping it even if it wasn't a dupe for it. California Love. California Love palette. I love it. I haven't used it. Color Story speaks to me. It's very neutral, and I know I need to get more into the neutral tones and the neutral colors, so keeping it. This is my Give It To Me Straight. This is another palette that I got from Andrea Renee. I got this on Poshmark. She literally did not touch this palette. So, keeping. This is my Magnetic palette. I wanted it to be all glitters, but they didn't have any more glitters available at the time. So I added an orange in there. Orange is always a good transition shade. So keeping. And then through my eyes, I love Sada E X ColourPop. I think the color story is magnificent. So I will be keeping this palette. I just got to figure out what to do with it. I know I used these 3 colors trying to create a look, but it didn't work. I ain't gonna give up though, not yet. Alright, now it's time to whip out my 9 pan palettes. I have so many. I literally have almost every single 9 pan palette except the last 2 that dropped, which were the Lilac palette and no, they dropped 2 more recently. The Lilac palette wasn't recently dropped, but they just dropped the Mint palette, and they're dropping another red one of some sort. I don't have those 3. So this is the Baby Got Peach. Keeping. I'm not getting rid of any of my 9 pan palettes. This is the Soul palette. Not that big of a fan of it, but I'm keeping it. This is the Aren't You Glad. I love the little Aren't You Glad? Like, aren't you glad I didn't? Yep. Love that. The Main Squeeze. Honestly, I'm not a fan of this, but I saw a Instagram. Look, you know I didn't use this because the plastic is still on the mirror. Wow. I saw an Instagram tutorial that made me really want this palette for this shade right here. Keeping. I don't think I've used any of these palettes, by the way. Oh, it looks like I've swatched this one. This is the Ooh La La. This is the very first one, I believe. I always wanted this one, so I'm keeping it. This is the Strawberry Shake. I got this because at the time I couldn't have the Ooh La La, and then they restocked the Ooh La La, so now I have both. Then we have Brown Sugar, the Karuche X ColourPop. Not a fan of this. I probably should declutter it, but for now, I'm gonna get it. The Honey. I have a look planned with this. I love this palette. The yellows are amazing. It is really hard to formulate yellows. Oh my. The lighting is not doing these any justice, but it's really hard to formulate yellows. And when I tell you I loved my look, I loved my look. So, keeping Mara palette, not a big fan. If you see shadow over it, it's not because I touched it. It's because when I first got them, I dropped this one and the Karuche palette, and all the colors popped out of them. So I had to figure them out and put them back. Can we get some focus here? There we go. Keeping it. I'm going to just stop saying I'm keeping it because I'm keeping it. This palette I am in love with. I have a bomb look coming with this palette, and it is staying. My favorite blues palette, and I don't even like blues. This green palette, I wanted a green palette so badly, and in a few seconds you're going to see now I have 2 green palettes because this palette was another one, just like the Ooh La La palette that I wanted when it first launched and could not get, and now I have it, so it's staying. And then the It's My Pleasure palette. I'm not a fan of purples. My mom likes purples, but I know for a fact I can do some bomb looks with this, so it's staying. Alright, so we're going to start with my Makeup Revolution. I have a lot of Makeup Revolution. We're going to start this way. So this is the Makeup Revolution Forever Flawless Unconditional Love palette. I like this palette. Have not used it. Keeping it. I wanted the whole collection, so I got the whole collection. This is the Optimum palette. After I got it, I realized how not me it was. Still keeping it. You gotta learn how to step out of your comfort zone as an artist. And a lot of reasons why I bought some of these palettes is so that I force myself to step out of my comfort zone. I am absolutely in love with this palette. This is the perfect warm tone peachy palette. And as you see, one of the shades came... No, this didn't come broken. This was... I broke by accident. I know I had a palette that came broken. Is it one of these? No, it's the one over there, and I'll show you guys that in a sec. This is the Constellation Palette. I love how colorful it is. If you haven't noticed, I'm a colorful girl. This is the Ice Palette. I want the, I believe it's called the Fire Palette. Sorry. I believe it's called the Fire Palette. It's the reddish one. I want that palette. Finish off this collection, but I told my honey I was gonna go on a low buy, and I was done buying eyeshadow. See, that is how they end up broken. Okay, sorry about that. I almost had a heart attack. Let's try again. This is my Makeup Revolution X Patricia Bright Rich in Color palette. Love this. I love how the back literally flips around. These colors are it. Like, they're it. No explanation needed. This blue is beautiful. I love that pressed glitter. Both of those pressed glitters. These little neon shapes are, they're it. That's that on that, honey. Then this is the more sophisticated palette of her too. I'm not a neutrals girl, but I will be. This is the neutral portion. These are the colors. I'm sticking to it. Then this is the Forever Flawless Utopia. This is the purples palette. This is the palette that came broken from Ulta, and when I contacted them, they sent me another one. So I literally fixed / dumped out the broken shade that came in this palette and gave it to my mom because she loves purples. This is the Allure palette. Can never get this palette open. That's how I broke the color. See? I'm irritated right now. Sorry. I'm going to have to clean that up later, of course. But we're here now trying to get this video done. So we're going to make it work. This palette, I'm so irritated right now. I'm gonna have to wipe all these palettes in this drawer down because I got hella eyeshadow down there. But yeah, this is another one. That's the one I almost dropped. That's why it's broken. And then this is the Cannabis with Cannabis Sativa, the Chilled palette. I like this palette. It's monochromatic green. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it, but I'm gonna do something, and it's gonna be bomb. This is my Juvia's Place drawer, and it has some BH Cosmetics because I got rid of a lot of my BH Cosmetics palettes. A lot of these aren't used, but we're gonna start with the Juvia's Place. This is my, not my Juvia's Place, my BH Cosmetics. This is the Color Festival palette. This one, I honestly think that I swatched this and that's it. But I was really attracted to this palette when it first came out. I'm not sure why, but I got it because I was. And then, wow. What in the world is up with me today? Dropping my palettes. Then I got my Take Me Back to Brazil palette. This is the original one. My mirror is broken and everything. So this is the original Take Me Back to Brazil palette. Absolutely love this palette so much that I bought a second one because that one was giving And then when I got this palette, the colors weren't the same. I did a look, and I'll possibly post both of these up, but I know I'm supposed to be recreating that look. I did a look with this palette, hoping that it would come out the way I wanted it to with this palette, and it came out different. Still cute. It came out different though because the colors are different. This palette, the newer version, is more pastel, and these are more like, I don't want to say pigmented, but they're more like they have a more abrupt color to them, and I wasn't happy. I'm gonna keep them both because I like them both, but you get my point. Now we're gonna go into my Juvia's Place palettes. The Queen Lumi X Juvia's Place palette. I'm not getting rid of any of my Juvia's Place palettes. Don't know what you thought this was, but this is not that kind of game, so we're not even gonna play like that. The Nubian palette, one of the first palettes that I got. This is, why am I not focusing? This is one of the newer palettes. Whatever, it's not working. This is one of my newer palettes. Oh, not newer. This is one of my first Juvia's Place palettes, and the one that I had for the Nubian broke. I bought another one. Here it is. This is my Nubian 3 Coral palette. Love the shades in this palette. They are phenomenal. Still have not used this palette yet. I'm working on getting back into makeup, like doing my own face again. Bear with me. I will have videos up. I don't know how often, but they will be up. This is the Afrique palette. I personally did not like the formula of the Afrique palette. I didn't like the blue. The yellow didn't show up much for me. I liked the... I'm not sure where it cut out, but this is the Afrique palette. The blue, don't really like. The yellow, don't really like. The green, I think I swatched it, but like not a rough swatch. Didn't care for it like that. Cameroon and Angelique were decent for when I tried them, but keeping it though. All Juvia's Place is staying, if you didn't know. This is the Saharan palette. Not a color scheme I'm a fan of. Love this color, and I think that is a pretty green. However, I'm not that big of a fan of it. Shad I use because I use blacks to deepen colors, but I haven't really used this. Not really a big fan of it. I'm keeping it though. This is my Nubian 2 palette. I don't think I've used this. However, I had a shade broken and I swatched these shades because I had an obsession with oranges in the as my transition color in my crease, and I have an obsession. I had an obsession with any type of shimmer / metallic shades from Juvia's Place. So yeah, swatching is my favorite thing to do with Juvia's Place shadows. Moving on, the internet made me buy it. I'm a Juvia's Place fan. I'm not sure if I knew if I was going to get this or not, but I really do buy everything that comes from Juvia's Place. I am on a low buy right now, so I didn't get the mini palettes, but I want them. I will more than likely get them. This is what the Nomad palette looks like. It is stunning. I have used this for a possible look that's supposed to be going up. I am in love with this color, and I don't know how I feel about everything else. I have to try it again, but it's staying. This, don't use. I have literally not touched this palette. No, I have. I've touched 2 shades, which is the chocolate and the macaroons color. I believe I swatched the Mont Blanc color, but I have not used it. Other than that, the Warriors by Juvia's Place. Love this palette. I've watched people use this as eyeshadows, as highlighters, as contours. I'm in love with this palette. I use this palette myself when I did a look that I will be recreating very soon. I will post that look up here really quickly, but you'll get a glimpse of it before I actually do the video. But this palette, love it. And I'm not a neutrals girl. The Warrior 2, another neutrals palette, love it. This Zama color is it. I love blacks to deepen the crease, and my Yodic color to blend as a transition. Love it, keeping it. No, wait, forgetting the color. This Zaz color, it is a pure white. I love it. Warrior 3 palette. Oh, wow. That fell on the floor. It's staying on the floor. I have dogs. I have used this palette to recreate the look that I'm going to be doing with my Carity palette. I was trying to recreate it with a different palette, and I failed terribly simply because the way this is formulated is totally different than the way I was trying to do it. It could have succeeded, but I didn't want to force it. I wanted things to run smoothly, so yeah. But I love these colors. Keeping. This is my last pile of Juvia's. This is the Tribe palette. Love this palette. Love this green. I don't really love this palette. I like this palette a lot, but I definitely love this green. Everything about this palette screams to me. Doesn't scream inspiration, but it screams at me. Keeping the Festival by Juvia's Place. I'm not a fan of the color scheme. I really do feel like they just threw colors in here, but you know what? It matches this type of vibe. The Festival, like, still not feeling it. Keeping it. My Zulu palette is my baby. One of my first palettes that I've ever used when I got my bundle, because when I got my first Juvia's Place palette, I know I may be talking fast, but I have a lot of makeup, so bear with me. One of my first palettes that I used when I first got my Juvia's Place palette, this orange, this yellow, magnificent. Love it. My favorite yellow and orange ever. I've seen a lot of people use this as bronzer and contour. That's what I'm gonna try doing. One thing about the Juvia's Place palettes are that the pans are large, so they can be used as face palettes. I've seen people use their eyeshadows as blushes, their eyeshadows as contours, their eyeshadows as many different things. So check out Juvia's Place. This ain't sponsored. The Saharan 2 palette. Love this burgundy. I like this color for a inner corner shade. This shade broke and that shade broke, but you see your girl fixed it perfectly. Keeping it. The Masquerade Mini. Most people are usually amazed by this palette. They have the colorfuls on the top, the neutrals on the bottom. However, your colorfuls don't have many matte shades, but your neutrals do. I'm not a fan of it. I do kind of like this shade right here, that one right there, and that one, but not totally amused like most people. The Magic palette by Juvia's. I have made tons of looks with this palette for my last channel that I had, and I trashed the channel and I did not bring back the looks. So what I will do is recreate the looks and pop them up here. When I tell you I have so many looks in mind, it's unbelievable. But I don't know, lately I haven't been feeling YouTube. I will be soon, so but I'll be making myself soon, so stay tuned. Allow me to put all of this back. And this is my last, oh, this is not my last drawer. I have another thing of eyeshadow up there, but you know what, it's cool. I'm gonna add that into this drawer. My Celestial Thunder. I honestly want to keep this just to try one look with it, and then I'll be decluttering it. So we're gonna go with my Baked Browns. I'm going to declutter this. I have so many shades that I can use to dupe these colors, and I'm never gonna get to this, even though it's Dose of Colors and I like it. Nope, for now I'm gonna keep it. I have a strange attachment to eyeshadow palettes. I should have said that ahead of time, but yeah, I'm keeping it. This Violet Voss. This is the Essentials palette. Don't get me wrong, I like this pink. I like that cream. I like this dusty rose. And the terracotta is kind of cute. But, oh, and look at that emerald. I feel like I'm talking myself into keeping the palette. I'm gonna get rid of this palette. I absolutely am. This is another one that I probably should get rid of, but I already know I'm keeping it. This is the Hidden Treasures palette by Dose of Colors. I'm keeping it. I know I'm not gonna use it, but you know what? I'm keeping it. I don't care. If I can get it back there we go. This is my Manny MUA palette. His brand Lunar Beauty. Absolutely love Manny MUA. This side is neutrals, this side is colors. I am in love. I honestly just bought it because I wanted to support him, and I always wanted this palette. I'm not sure if it was because of YouTube or Instagram, but I really did want this palette when I first saw it, and I have it now, so it's mine. It's staying. We have more Lunar Beauty right here. This is his Strawberry Dream palette. Love this palette. Don't know why. Maybe it's these colors and that shimmer. I don't know. It's something about the palette. Still haven't used it. Going to use it soon. Keeping. Sorry. This is my Pure Festival palette. I got this in a boxy charm. But yeah, this is a boxy charm. I love this color. I like this brown and that color. So I'm going to keep it. I don't know if I'll actually use it or not, but I'm going to keep it. This is my P. Louise The Secret Center palette. I wanted this palette for so long. So long. And I couldn't get it because I was like, damn, that shit expensive. Black Friday came in. Bow. I am in love with this palette. I used it literally once and I am fascinated by it. I will continue to use it, and I will probably hit pan on this palette. This will probably be one of the very few that I do hit pan on. This is freshly new. It has only been used once, and I'm in love, so I'm keeping it. This is my Alyssa Edwards and Anastasia Beverly Hills palette. Love it. Keeping it. This is my Jacqueline palette. If it's one thing I would say is I usually don't gravitate toward more colors like this. I love this though. I like Zam. This dual chrome Trust Issues is bomb. Wigglies on the lid is fire. Ginger to as a transition shade is fire. Deepen up colors with Credit bomb. Dollars is beautiful. I'm keeping it. So sorry about that. My memory card was full and giving me all types of hard times trying to get a new one in there. I don't know. Oh, there it is. There's the next palette that I was doing. This is my Subculture palette. I heard really bad things about this palette. I've heard really good things about this palette. I got this at TJ Maxx. Love this shade. Everything else was okay. This color was really hard to blend out, but overall I don't hate the palette, so keeping. Not to mention I have an obsession with Anastasia Beverly Hills, which brings me to my babies. For Christmas, my honey got me my Anastasia Beverly Hills I forgot what they called this. My bundle. I got the 2 bundle instead of the 3. I didn't really want the Northern palette, so I skipped out on it. We're going to talk about the Modern Renaissance first. Always wanted this palette. Everybody raved about this palette. I have this palette, and now I am more in love with the Soft Glam palette. However, this palette will stay in my collection because I have an obsession with Anastasia Beverly Hills, as you will see in about 2 seconds. Yeah, keeping. Next up is my Soft Glam. All right now. Soft Glam. I am obsessed with this. I used this palette once to try to create a look, and I am in love. I love this sultry color. It is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And Mulberry is beautiful. Based off of, what is the girl name? I can't even think of it. Taylor Made Jane. That is a really nice black, and I haven't tried it yet, and I can't wait to try it. Oh, look, Dusty Rose. freeze. Where's the palette that I said that I was decluttering? This is it. Okay, so this is Violet Voss. I got this in BoxyCharm. This dusty rose color right here. I'm gonna swatch it. Oh, I have never touched this palette and I'm now touching it. Sorry to whoever gets it, but I have to swatch these two colors because I want to see how similar they are. That is the Violet Voss one, and this is the Anastasia Beverly Hills one. I honestly like the... Oh, you guys can't see that. It is what it is. I like the Violet Voss one better, but you know what? I didn't need that palette, so I'm not keeping it. I'm keeping this. I'm in love with this. It's staying. Goes back on top of my vanity. Well, not even my vanity. My little makeup setup. Next, Pure Masquerade. Nope, not Masquerade. Midnight Masquerade. Why is there foundation all over this? No clue. Pure Midnight Masquerade. I'm going to keep this for the color Exposed. That's literally the only reason why I was keeping it. I was getting rid of this whole palette for so long in my mind. Like, I mentally decluttered this palette, but then I did my my New Year's Eve look, and this is the only silver that really showed up that I tried with that look, because I've done that look over and over and over several times just to see how I can get it to be perfect to my liking, and this is the only silver that ever did it for me. That is the only reason why I want to keep this palette, but I will probably never use this palette again, so I'm actually going to declutter this. I'm not even going to lie to y'all, that hurt my heart to say. Violet Voss Pro Holy Grail palette. Love this palette. I have a look coming with it. It's super duper neutral. However, I don't know. It's something about this palette screams keep me, so that's what I'm doing. I'm keeping it. My Norvina, ABH Norvina collection palettes. I have all three. I was obsessed. The Pro Pigments. Got this one. I'm trying to do it so y'all don't get blinded. There you go. That one. That's one. Love it. Did y'all see that pink in the corner? Whoa, that caught my eye at the last minute. The two. This is two. Hold on. Give me a sec. That's two. I like that palette too. It's okie doke. And this is the third one. Can never get these open sometimes. And I honestly think that because this is so neon, I love this palette the most. This is two. I'm keeping all three of these bad boys. And that is my entire eyeshadow collection, if I'm not mistaken. I'm lying. I just got another eyeshadow palette in my BoxyCharm. Let me put these back first. This is my very last palette, I believe, right? Yes, this is my very last palette. Unless I got some palettes hidden somewhere. But, you know, with me, you never know. This is the Palm Spring Dreams. It's not picking up on camera. So sorry. Palm Spring Dreams by Too Faced. If I could get it open. I put my finger through that. Wow. This is the eyeshadows, and I will be keeping that for now as well. So that is all my eyeshadows. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and double tap the bell just to let me know that you want more videos. I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.
Yeah, I got the remedy for your soul. Got the melody for the low. I got everything, let me know. I like your energy, baby.